Yeah, cozy everybody, today we'll continue on with a game called Danganronpa another. Are we in the trial now? Let's see. Yeah, we are. So I'm just gonna check the truth bullets and stuff, and once I'm done we'll proceed to the trial. I'm gonna skip this part. Okay. Alright, I'm done. Let's begin class trial. First, let's start with a brief explanation of the class trial. The outcome of the class trial is decided by your votes. If you point out a black hand, only they will be punished, but in case you point out the wrong person, then I'll punish everyone else except the black hand, and the one who deceived everyone else can probably leave the school. Also, this translation was made by Zeffy. Please give a heartfelt support to the videos, subscribe to stay in touch with this story. You heard the man. It finally started the fourth class trial. One of us is the culprit that killed Haruhiko. We must find the culprit at all costs. Now then, please begin your discussion. Guys? Right, yeah, should we start discussing? Okay, we have to work hard, so where do we start with? What? This stuffy, awkward mood. Well, it's not unreasonable because our conflict reached its peak. First, I think each of you will have a lot of things to say before the trial, and the feelings that you're feeling will be different. But now let's focus on the trial in front of you, aside from everything else. Just like we did before so far, haven't we? Kinjo. As Kinjo said, now is the trial. Let's swallow what we want to say to each other for a moment, because survival is our priority now. Huh, you don't take that for granted, do ya? Let's get started already. Then let's begin. Once we get the case sorted out, let's organize a series of events in chronological order, based on what each knows. Hey, wait a minute. Before that, I have something to say just for a minute, please. What is it, Iranami? I'm the killer. What? Eh? Sasuke-chan, are you kidding me? What did you say just now? I said, I'm the killer. Well, that's an early confession. I'm the culprit who killed Haruhiko Bashikawa. Don't play around, Iranami. What are you saying all of a sudden? It's not a joke. Are you serious? Don't make me laugh. Do you think that if you claim to be the criminal without physical evidence or logic, you'll become the culprit? But I really killed Haruhiko. It can't be. Stop making bad jokes, Sasuke-chan. You should explain one step at a time. If we listen and we're convinced, then we can really believe that you're the culprit. Sally, what is all this? Just as the trial began, she said she was the culprit. If it were a normal culprit, they would never confess. But would Sasuke really be the culprit? Before making any judgments, let's first listen to Sasuke's story. From now on, non-stop debate will begin. Let's go now. The hell? Why would anyone confess to the murder? That's so silly. I'm getting dizzy. OMG. Why are you claiming to be the culprit? Let's hear your reason. At dawn, Kobazin called me. At dawn? Hey, Monacoins. Are you sure? How the hell could he call you that at that time, Zero? 70? Are you kidding me? Why? Because I didn't aim it properly? Wait, Sasuke, Haruhiko called you? Isn't that odd? Is it weird? The victim Haruhiko called you, the culprit. That can't be it. Rather, the victim Haruhiko was called by the culprit and went to the arsenal. If you were the culprit, you would know. You're saying he was called by the killer? I don't know. That's ridiculous. The letter that was put in Haruhiko's room is what he's talking about. The contents are like this. To Haruhiko, I have something to tell you. If you read this, why did you come to the arsenal? I'm not trying to kill you. I hope you believe me. I'll wait. Well, if the contents of that letter are true, it makes no sense that Kobe could call Satsuki-chan and took her to the arsenal, right? It would be the opposite. That's right, but Satsuki said that she doesn't know much about this letter. The killer doesn't know the letter they sent. Nope, doesn't make sense. I don't know, what if it was manipulation? Yuge Tsurugi wrote that letter that I didn't know, and you're manipulating things now. Don't be a thickhead. Obviously, this evidence came from Haruhiko's room. So Iranami's not the culprit? Wrong, I really mean it. I'm the real culprit. Silly little clown. Just looking at the current evidence, to say that Sasuke is the culprit, it's hard to tell, but I want to make things a little more clear. So let's ask about it. Haruhiko's other wound, whose source is unknown to the evidence, only the culprit, only they must know. You mean this? Ruptured right hand. Sasuke, if you're really the culprit, there's one thing I want you to tell me. This isn't like the letter, but a direct clue to Haruhiko's body. So if you're the culprit, it's a clue that you must know. What's that? Haruhiko's right hand. You recall? His right hand was completely shattered. It's hard to say that this was a gunshot wound. If you're the culprit, can you tell me the true nature of this wound? I don't know. Why did his hand become that way? You don't have to talk anymore. You're not the culprit. Wait a second, I'm telling the truth. Why are you still claiming to be the killer? If it's real, even if Iranami is the culprit, you'll only get executed. I don't know what you're thinking, but this is not a joke. If Iranami unnecessarily confuses our reasoning and chooses the wrong killer, we will all die. Maybe that might have been the purpose. What? She was close to Haruhiko Kabashikawa, who died this time, right? Apparently, it looks like she was in severe shock, unlike the usual one, who always talks at random. With that shock in mind, you are trying to make us follow Haruhiko Kabashikawa's fate. Isn't that right? That was it? Absolutely not. Of course, I'm really sad that Haru died, but I'm very much sane. Stop it, Iranami. We haven't even started a proper discussion yet. If the discussion goes on, the killer will naturally be revealed. If you really are the killer, you don't have to rush things. It'll all turn out okay. Sasuke-chan. Oh, alright then. Let's discuss about it. Has it been roughly organized? You wasted my time on useless things. So let's start from the beginning again, where the case started to happen. Hold on a minute, is it okay to wait 1 minute before that? In this case, can we assume that Iranami isn't completely the culprit? No, not necessarily. If Iranami is really the culprit, there's still a possibility there. That's it? We haven't started any reasoning yet. First, there's a possibility from what happened a little while ago, but maybe there's something up. In that way, they were excluding themselves from the suspect line. That had to be calculated. With Iranami's mind, it would be possible to tell. Hey, you're treating me as a fool right now? I don't think it was on purpose. Quiet. First, as King just says, let's summarize the unfolding of the case. Oh, right. Where can we start from the evening before the incident happened? Oh, that was when Maeda-kun, Kabashikawa-kun, Atori-kun, and Sasuke-chan, Mikako-chan, and me. 6 people gathered at the restaurant. Maeda-kun called us, and at the time, we were at the limit of our hunger, and we all thought to come together and meet each other in the thought that we should somehow unfold a hard policy. At that time, Tsuruya suggested. I'll tell you, it wasn't really sane back then. That's what happened. It was my fault for being immature. What's this? I didn't even see your faces the day before the murder took place. I don't know this, so explain exactly what's going on. Teruya gave us a pen and paper to nominate one victim and one culprit. He asked for one person to vote. Since Monokuma banned suicide, it was a plan to set up the case at the expense of 2 people. That was really crazy. I'm so sorry. It's alright, it's all over now. We almost agreed to this plan too. It looks like the part I saw from there. I broke into the restaurant because the absurd plan was about to be implemented. Yeah, Kinjagan came in and handed out guns to each of us. To commit suicide. Puh. What? Oh no, nothing at all, keep going. Well, that's when we started to fight back at Kinjo. And then we were lucky enough to catch him and was judged to be dangerous, so he couldn't move anymore. Oh my, sorry, I'm so uneducated today. Continue. So, the problem starts after this. Thanks to Kinjo, the plan was halted, but there was no progress for the day. We locked Kinjo in the room and then went back to each room. Between this morning, Haruhiko died. I couldn't sleep all night, so I was staying with my eyes open, but I heard something outside in the morning, so I went out and Mana was asking for help, saying that the door was not opening. And when you somehow opened the door, you found the body. Yeah, that's right, the case is missing our eyes between the dawn hours, and there's not much evidence, so we have no choice but to share information we know with each other. First, a few alibis can be established just by hearing about this. Alibis? Yeah, so then let's dig into the alibis one by one, alright? If non-stop debate, Kurikawa's testimony. Oh yeah, didn't she say something about hearing stuff? First off, it won't be a problem if I excluded myself from the suspect list, and since I was tied up, right? Oh, certainly. An idea where Kinjo commits the crime doesn't seem possible. I have an alibi and my enemy. We were together when the BDA happened. If so, the ones who can be suspected criminal are Makaro, Taira, Ironami, Kurikawa, those 4 people. I really don't have an alibi. It's not me. Satsuki is the killer. You shut up already. Stop causing trouble. If only there was one more information to check our alibis. You mean her testimony? Kurikawa's testimony. The place where she's stayed at. 80 points? What? Unbelievable. Kinjo, wait, come to think of it, I think there was someone who knows the alibis during dawn in detail. Who is it? During the investigation, Kurikawa, she clearly testified to me that she had seen who went to the arsenal in the morning. Right, Kurikawa? Yeah. What? If that's true, the culprit has already been revealed, right? You're noisy, be quiet. Hey, Dark Circles, so who did you see? Kurikawa's room was right next to the arsenal, so she heard the arsenal's door opening and closing. Of course, the arsenal is soundproofed, so she didn't hear the sounds from the inside. Because that's how it works. I don't think hearing only the sound is enough to be a direct witness testimony. No, I saw people passing by in front of my door. What? No way, you've been watching the hallway all morning? Is that what you mean? Nodding. But then, still, it would have been difficult to stay sane in hunger, but watching the hallway all night without sleep is... However, that worked nicely in reverse. The culprit couldn't have thought that there must have been someone in the midst watching the corridor. That's a great achievement, Kurikawa. So then, who passed by? Well, I don't know the time. The exact time is unknown, but it was in this order. First, it was Haruhiko and Satsuki, from left to right. The arsenal didn't open at this time. A little later, Satsuki went from right to left. She was alone at this time. A little later, after Ironami passed, Tsuruya went from left to right. A little later again, I heard the sound of the arsenal door, then Tsuruya went from right to left. And after a while, Haruhiko goes from right to left. Soon after, Haruhiko and Satsuki are together again. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, but wait a minute. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what's left to right or right to left. Can't you tell us a little more clearly? You're the only one who doesn't understand something so simple, aren't you? Don't cut the flow for no reason. Focus and listen. Don't be like that. I'm a little confused too. But let's listen to Kurokawa's story until the end and reorganize it. It's in an easy to understand manner. Kurokawa, is that everything? Nods. Okay, how do we visualize that? Indeed. As you said, you can assume that the killer has already revealed themselves. At the time of the investigation, I didn't know this because Kurokawa didn't tell me properly, but this is definitely a tremendous amount of information. Hey, I want to join the discussion too, but can't you tell us a little bit more easily? Oh, sorry, Tara. I'll organize it so it's easy to understand. But before that, there's something I want to check again. The location of the room each of us was using. If we know this, I think we can properly organize Kurokawa's information. Well, that's certainly something I want to do and need to move on. From what I rough checked with each other during the investigation, everyone remembers the structure of the corridor behind the ballroom where the rooms are listed, right? As you would know if you did a little closer examination, there was a small tag on the door of each room. And according to the tag, the rooms are distributed in this manner. Monokuma randomly gave us a key for each room. And from what I've investigated... yeah. Cute. This is probably how each of us were located in each room. When we reconsider Kurokawa's testimony after arranging the distribution of each room used by each person in this way, we can see that a few suspects are eliminated. Well, I mean, I didn't understand Mikako's words at all. That's your own fault. Are you going to blow up valuable discussion time for someone like you? Kinja, that's too far. It's important for one person to know about the case, right? I'll rearrange it and explain it to Taira. Do what you like, preferably as quickly as possible. What a dick. Kinja-kun, you still don't seem to forgive me. Yeah, you could tell. Taira, so to summarize Kurokawa's words simply... First, the fact that Kurokawa watched the hallway all morning. Taira, you heard it earlier, right? And based on what Kinja summarized, Kurokawa's room is room 8. It's the room on the right side of the arsenal. When you go straight from the entrance of the arsenal to the corridor, as Kurokawa explained a little while ago, what she said was from left to right and from right to left was based on the direction facing the corridor in Kurokawa's room. Here, I'll make it more easy to understand with pictures. In the order that Kurokawa saw it, Haruhiko and Sasuke were the first people that passed by in front of the door at this time. She said there was no sound of the arsenal door opening at this time, so I think it's just the two of them passing by. And a little later, she said that Sasuke passed by alone again in the opposite direction. Shortly after this, she said that Teruya passed by. And at this time, she could hear the sound of the arsenal door opening. This probably means that Teruya went to the arsenal. After a while, the sound of the arsenal door opening was heard again, then Teruya passed to the opposite direction. Soon after, Haruhiko passed by the same direction again. After this, Haruhiko and Sasuke went from left to right again. And at this time, the door to the arsenal was open. Someone went into the arsenal. After that, there was no movement for a while, and after a little time passed, Satsuki passed by with the sound of arsenal door opening. These are all the movements Kurokawa saw and heard during the morning. After this, well, she heard the ruckus of the arsenal door next, but that was probably the sounds of me trying to open the door. Teruya, who passed by, heard the sounds I made. Then I opened the door with Teruya's help during this time. That's the summary of what Kurokawa heard and saw, roughly like this. Do you understand? Wow, when Red explained it to me, I understood it all at once. Thanks. Really? But wait, if we look from the current events on each step, yeah, there's one suspicious person. Do you see it clearly? I can't guarantee 100% that what Kurokawa heard and saw was everything that happened at dawn, but with the information obtained till now has resulted in one influential suspect of this case. That person is... Sorry, dude. Teruya Achari. Teruya is the only one who fits to be the main suspect of this case. Huh? Me? Haruhiko was the victim, so he couldn't help it. The fact that Sasuke was close to Haruhiko makes me understand why she was there. But why did Teruya move around like that so early in the morning? That was, what was it again? Right, I was investigating. Yeah, everyone was in a panic, so I wanted to find clues to get out, even for a little bit. Just a few hours ago, you were trying to pick two victims. The guy who was despairing and doing investigation was thinking of all these things. Doesn't that sound a little weird? That's all there is to it. The way it fixed my mind. People can change their mind easily, you know? Even if it's true that you did an investigation, if you think about it, based on Kurokawa's testimony, you were only in the arsenal. What kind of investigation did you do in the arsenal? No, I never went into the arsenal. Atorikon, please stop the pretense and explain properly. What the hell did you do in the arsenal? I never went into the arsenal. Teruya? Why does it have to be only me? I did nothing wrong. If you look at it, Sasuke also went around at dawn. Why am I only suspicious? Yeah, I'm the culprit. Are you still saying it? I told you to be quiet. Certainly, Ironami is well under enough suspicion. However, she says you didn't know the identity of the letter, nor did she know about Haru's hand. So that's it then. You're just gonna take her off the list just because she doesn't know? That's a long shot. I didn't know anything about a letter or the right hand either. Don't be mistaken, Teruya. You now said that Ironami is the culprit, and you don't know about these clues. Well, Ironami claims to be the culprit, but she doesn't recognize these clues are entirely different matters. Then what about Maeda? When I saw him this morning, he was trying to get in the arsenal, so Maeda is also suspicious. That just happened. Yeah, I won't deny that Maeda is a suspect as you claim. He had been in and out of the arsenal the previous day, and even this morning. He had the strange idea of going to the arsenal again. But this and that are a separate matter. As a result, Maeda failed to enter the arsenal this morning. There was no testimony of Kurokawa witnessing in the morning, so this is not suitable for committing the crime. Well, anyways, I don't know about that. I'm exactly trying to protect him, but relying only on Dark Circle's testimony has a slightly loose time frame. I'm going to ignore it. Do not make me go nuts and move on already. I know that. It's about the structure of the ballroom, right? The structure? Think about it. Even if Kurokawa watched the hallway all night, it's all about looking outside of the room and hearing the arsenal door. But if you look at the structure of the ballroom, you can easily enter the arsenal without passing by Kurokawa's door. Yeah. Because we were all at the ballroom for a week, I think everyone should know, but the arsenal is structured around the dance hall at 360 degrees. In other words, if you go back to the other side, you can enter the arsenal without being noticed by Kurokawa. Moreover, in the case of Maeda, Kurokawa does not stand out, even if he does not use this method and goes straight into the arsenal from his own room, since it was in the opposite side to Kurokawa's room in the first place. Yeah, that is true. You knew that too. See, Maeda is the culprit after all. But there's something you shouldn't overlook. Even if you use some method to enter the arsenal without showing your appearance to Kurokawa, there's still the sound of the door opening and closing that can only be heard by Kurokawa. But in Mikako-chan's testimony, the sound of the arsenal opening and closing was always heard before and after someone passed her door. That's right, after all, the person who walked in and out of the arsenal at dawn, I can't think of anything other than these three people who showed up in the testimony: Haruhiko, Satsuki, and Teruya. That's all lies! So, Teruya, you went into the arsenal, and I want to hear your reason to make sure. If you're really innocent, there's no reason to be in panic, right? Then I'm really innocent. Really, I just went to the arsenal I just waited for a minute. I don't think there will be an end if this goes on like this. What is Teruya so afraid of? I'm not sure. He doesn't want to say anything. Because, well, I'm not certain, but I'll have to show more convincing evidence that he has no choice but to speak with his own words. Come to think of it, seems to be one suspicious thing about Teruya during the investigation. What was it? It was when I was investigating something in the arsenal. Let's recall that moment. No refresh needed. I'm fine. This is the only thing that's not bloody. Corner gun. 5 million mana coins. Okay, come to think of it, Teruya, didn't you say something strange to me when I was investigating? What? Something strange? I don't know. I found a gun that was dropped in a corner, and when I checked in to investigate, suddenly you came and told me to not touch it because it will blow up. What do you mean, Maeda? Tell us in more detail. There was a gun in the corner of the arsenal that was hard to see. I tried to investigate why was it in a corner like that. Suddenly, Teruya, who was nearby, ran up and told me not to touch it because it would blow up if I shot. Maybe he thought I was going to use the gun. If you shoot, it will blow up? What are you talking about? Now, before answering the question, how did he know about that? Maeda, the gun, did you properly investigate it? Huh? I did examine it roughly, but it was a normal gun with nothing special. I thought it was equipped with a bomb or something, because I thought it was going to explode. Probably, it's not like that. Hey, Monokuma. Huh? Call me? I was enjoying this. What's up? I require you to submit evidence. Bring the gun Maeda mentioned. What are you? Why am I being ordered? Submit evidence? Is that possible? It is part of the debate on the class trial. There's no problem by the rules. You, the judge, have no right to deny it. That's correct. There's no profit to reject it. Besides, if it's part of the discussion, what's the point? Gee, I really don't like that attitude. How can you be so cheeky? Shut up and get it already. But actually, I thought this was going to happen and I brought it from the beginning. Now here you go. How is it? This is it. It's a bullet. Bullet? It was loaded? It's not a simple bullet. It's a bullet for shotguns and medium-sized rifles. Bullets that do not meet the standard were forcibly loaded to this gun. If you pull the trigger with one of these, a bullet that doesn't fit into the magazine, it enters the chamber and blocks the muzzle, and of course no bullet shell comes out. The pressure from the gunpowder has disappeared from where it's supposed to go. Instead goes spreading all over the gun itself. Oh, it will end up being shattered. Wait a minute, but then why did Teruya know about this? Why? I see now what you did in the arsenal. Toriko, did you change the bullets on purpose? For what reason? The gun in that state, if you hold it with a human hand and fire it, your hand will never be safe. When I listen to those words just now, I see a very similar wound I remember in my mind. Yeah, the source is clear. Haruhiko's right hand. Yeah, I know, right? I understand now. Haruhiko was hit by the explosion of the pistol that Kinjo was holding right now. That evidence was also in the arsenal. That proof is... Here you go. The destroyed gun. Yeah, that's right. It was in the arsenal. The fragments of a gun filled with blood, which appeared to have been burst from the inside. Yeah, I saw it too. Haruhiko fired the gun wrongly loaded, just like this gun, and the gun he was holding exploded, and his hand ended being ruptured. Then Toriko did this to Kobushikawa-kun. Wait a minute, I'm sure this gun is the one I touched, but I don't know anything about the other destroyed gun. Whoa, so you just confessed. Oh, you admitted it. The fact that he touched the gun. No. Of course, there are two guys with misloaded bullets. It's a little weird, but I'm certain, Teruya, you've definitely did something. Is that really it? I think if you pry a little more, you'll end up confessing everything. Don't treat people as criminal without solid evidence. Even if I put my hands on the gun, it can't be proof that I'm a killer. So I don't know anything. Give me the proof. Evidence. It can't be denied that Teruya is the most powerful suspect right now, but is there any more solid evidence? If we keep discussing, we might see something we haven't considered before. Bullet scan. Skip and continue. Oh, this is I don't know anything. It's already been revealed. Stop lying, tell the truth. You went to the arsenal and deliberately loaded the gun wrongly so that the bullets would explode. But only doing that doesn't mean I'm the culprit, does it? Of course you loaded the gun. You can say it doesn't make you the culprit, but the killer loaded the bullets on purpose. That's far-fetched because I did that one thing. You're treating me as the culprit. You knew the gun was going to explode. What more evidence do you want to see? Toriko, how could you? Oh, I remember this. Oh, wait. Wrong. I think I'm supposed to press the X button. Owie. There you go. Loaded. You murderer. Supposed to press the X button. It is certain Teruya went into the arsenal door, secretly manipulated a gun. But is that really all there is? Did he sneak it down just to do that one action? Let's think about it. If we listen to everyone's statements, we will be able to uncover another track of Teruya's deeds. Because of that one thing, dude. Who's the one who has pen and paper? The one who said that I always carry a pen and paper with me. Lol. That's it, the paper and pen. What? After listening to Tyra's words, I thought about it. In the beginning of the trial, you guys remember the letter that you said when you were blaming Satsuki? I've been thinking it's been weird all this time. How did the culprit write this letter? We should have lost all of our belongings at the same time we were in the ballroom. Hearing that, yeah, how did? Oh. Yeah, exactly as Maeda says. Perhaps the night before the murder, there was someone who secretly handed out a piece of paper and that had been secretly showing a paper to ask someone to choose two victims. Eek. It's obvious at this point that Teruya clearly said that at the time, the extra paper and pen were not removed from his clothes. That means Teruya is the only one of us who has a paper and pen in their belongings. Don't joke around. You could have accidentally found another piece of paper and wrote in it. Is that so? Should we check it then? Monokuma, bring that letter. I knew that would happen, so I brought it in advance. Here. Now, without that guy making a commotion, let's read it. This must be. It's the same paper Teruya had. Then Toriko was the one who sent the letter to Kabashikawa-kun's room? Wait a minute, you're forcing me. I handed out a bunch of papers to you guys. Soon after that, when Kijo made a fuss, he might have gotten one in the massive confusion. If it's only paper, it might be possible. But what about your side? Teruya said it with his own words. There's only one pen. No matter how much paper you had, you cannot write a letter without a pen. The pen was also in the confusion. Oh, then that means you don't have the pen right now because you said you only have one. If we look at your belongings and the party clothes you wore, you won't have any complaints, right? That's not allowed. Why not? Is there something we shouldn't see? Got him. It's decided that you can't refute it anymore. He wrote a letter by calling out Haruhiko and misloading a bullet to let his hand be ruptured. All of this, that's what you did, Teruya. Really? You, Ochori-kun? Why? Why did you do that? Why did you kill Kabashikawa-kun? I'm sorry. All you said was right. After all, you could have stand hunger too. What else could someone do otherwise? Actually, there was a reason that I was aiming at Haruhiko, and there was a reason for when we fought each day. It was all because of hunger. Tori-kun. So what, were you hoping for sympathy? Either way, you planned the murder and executed it. No, I have nothing to say. I don't want to make more excuses and dishonor Haruhiko anymore. I'm going to be dead anyways. Wait, there's one thing I'm curious about. Why did you go to the arsenal before the victim, work with the gun, write a letter to call him, then go back to the arsenal? My plan was to originally summon Haruhiko and then see him go into the arsenal, and I would go with him. As if it had nothing to do with the criminal, Haruhiko and I were supposed to fight and then provoke him and letting him shoot me with the gun I prepared. Once that happens, his hand would fly away without knowing anything, and so he would die. In the past, I followed my papa to study guns in America. Then I decided to commit a crime by using the knowledge I gained at the time. So I went back to my room and watched to see Haru coming out, but I was too tired, so I fell asleep until morning came. In the end, I don't know the reason why Haru broke his hand, but in any case, it was my fault. The fact that I killed Haruhiko doesn't change. This was a difficult answer to even predict. I'm glad you're a stupid fool. In a way, Kurokawa, who was watching the corridor all day morning, I think that was a good thing. Thanks to that, my crime was discovered. Teruya. The discussion so far has ended with the conclusion that Teruya is the culprit. It seems like a long shot, I think. There's still a lot of unsolved questions. Wait a minute, I've been listening all this time. Something is wrong with this. Teruya is not the culprit. Satsuki-chan, what are you talking about? Otori-kun just admitted it. I mean, the culprit is me. Are you still saying that? I told you to shut up. Wait, is Teruya really the culprit? Even Mikako-chan. If I'm right, Teruya is not the culprit. There's still an unsolved mystery. What are you guys talking about? I'm the culprit, aren't I? I'm almost 90% certain that Teruya is the culprit, but it's still a little too early to end the trial. I agree that there's an unsolved mystery left. If you tried to vote without anyone speaking up like this, I would have tried to do it, but actually this is the most important part of the case right now. Huh? What's this all of a sudden? Wasn't the trial ending like this? That's right, if you think about it carefully, there are still a lot of parts that cannot be explained on the contents of the discussion. But I'd like to hear why Kurokawa thinks Teruya is not the culprit. You weren't careful enough even for Kinjo. What? Nothing. Anyway, if you listen to the explanation, you'll know right away. Why do you think Teruya is the culprit? When Teruya passed the door to my room, he sent a letter to Haruhiko. Afterwards, he went inside the arsenal for his next plan. That is the explanation so far. But after that, Teruya passed the door to my room again. There was no movement until the morning after. But even if Teruya did plotted something, even if Haruhiko's hand exploded, the direct cause of death was a gunshot to the wound. Gunshot wound. True, Teruya mentioned that he used the gun himself. Teruya came out of the arsenal before Haruhiko could not kill. And one more thing, the arsenal was blocked from the inside. Yeah. Remember the wooden plank? What about that? Who locked the thing? Again with this unfair scoring thingy. The wood plank. Are you referring to this, Kurokawa? That's right, Maeda. You mean the broken wood plank that fell near the arsenal door? Yeah, according to Maeda, he opened the arsenal door in the morning with Teruya's help. You're not going to say just because they opened the door together, he's not the culprit, are you? That's not it. Think about it. After Teruya entered and left the arsenal in the morning, Haruhiko entered afterwards. Until this moment, the door to the arsenal was opened. Then, when was the door blocked with the wood planks? Well, when was it? It is for a fact that Kobayashi could open the door and went in. Doesn't that mean that the door was blocked after that? That is true, but according to Dark Circle's testimony, Teruya Otori did not even enter the arsenal after doing his little scheme. In other words, Teruya wasn't the one who blocked the door with the wood plank. It's only natural. When I tried to open the door with Maeda in the morning, I was embarrassed to know that the arsenal, which had only been opened, was not opening. As I said before, you must pass by Kurokawa's room. Even if you don't, you can head to the arsenal door. After that, the door to the arsenal was opened one more time. At that time, Teruya finished his plan. That's impossible, since Haruhiko was the last one to enter. The arsenal door has been only opened once. If Teruya went in and out of the arsenal, I should have heard the sound twice. Well, for starters, the wood plank were used to clasp the door, I guess. If you do something like this from the inside, you won't be able to come out. That's true. But even if you put a plank by some trick from outside, there wasn't just one plank. You know what I'm talking about, right, Maeda? Yeah. There wasn't just one plank, yeah, I saw it clearly. The thing that fell with the plank near the door, at the same time it fell to the ground as soon as the plank was crushed and made a loud noise. That thing was... flash and smoke grenades. Right, the objects that were separated from the plank. You mean the flash and smoke grenades, right? Flash and smoke grenades? Ah, it's those things that were near the door. Yeah, when Teruya and I first opened the door, we heard a shattering sound from the inside, and immediately afterwards a tremendous amount of light and noise hit us. And then after a few moments, when we opened our eyes, the arsenal was filled with smoke. After pulling out the plank from the handle, the door was opened and the plank fell because of the effort we did. That's right. Now you see, it's impossible to block the door like that from the outside. What? Then are you saying Otori is not the culprit? Wait a moment, but it was me who wrote the letter and had a gun ready to explode. It was the reason Haru saw the gun and then it exploded on his hand. I told you a little while ago. It is true that Haruhiko's right hand was ruptured, but the cause of death was the gunshot wound. Teruya, you only prepared the gun, but you didn't shoot Haruhiko, did you? No. Hold it, Teruya had an obvious murder intent. Now it's a contradiction to say that he isn't the culprit. What's wrong, Mr. Psycho Cop? Using forceful logic in that way doesn't seem like it would reach a nature like this. Dark Circles is right. I don't think Teruya Ator is the killer either. Then who is the culprit? You're saying it's impossible for Teruya to block a door, however, no one else can do it. That's true. That's the biggest mystery in this case. So what you're all saying is, in short, it's an impossible crime. God damn. Impossible. Somehow it is still possible, because it still happened afterwards. Let's save data 2, and then continue class trial. Get a drink. Stay hydrated, fellas. An impossible crime? What does that mean? It means a crime that is impossible. It's literally what it means. The incident happened, but no one in this state is capable of causing the incident itself. That can't be. I can affirm there's no such a thing as impossible crime in this world. I agree with this. There is no unsolved problem in the world. When a result has happened, it means that there was a series of processes. Then in this case, how do you explain it? To assert this was an impossible crime, you gave up on the case. There is a secret that has not yet been solved where your thoughts don't reach to the end. But if neither Kinjo and Mikaro, who always knew the critical points of the case, were confused enough to say that, it's already a mystery that can't be solved? Shut up, do I look like I'm panicking right now? Sorry, but it looks like that. It's been a few days now, but these days Kinjo-kun is not Kinjo at all. Just like Mary-kun before coming to the ballroom. You're being very annoying, damn criminal. Kinjo, why are you saying that? It's not really like you to get emotional so easily. Ignore it. Now we're on a trial. This is a life or death war. If you take care of someone who loses their temper during a war, you'll have to go through them. There's no other option. This person or that person, I'm done. Again, this case isn't an unsolved crime. Let's organize the information. Kinjo. First, even if we put on hold Teruya's claim that the crime is impossible, it will be necessary to look at the case from a different point of view. A different point of view? In retrospect, all of the reasoning we've done so far is based on Kurokawa's testimony. Let's step back here for a moment. Has anyone ever seen Kurokawa spying on the hallway? What do you mean? In short, Kurokawa's testimony is not too blind, but why are Kurokawa's words 100% true? She would be hungry in extreme circumstances. Would she bear with that in mind? Lastly, there could be a possibility that Kurokawa was the culprit. When that idea comes up, she could be playing with all of us. Kinjo. Hey, did you went crazy? Did you really flip around that fast? That's stuff that comes from your mouth. What? I'm talking about possibilities. At the time of Tomori? Who the hell is that? At the time of Tomori's... Oh, wait, yeah, Tomori's murder. During Kinjo's testimony, right? Forgot about that. I was thinking, wait, is it Haruka the murder victim or something? We put a thread on our private room doors to prove our alibis. But that was evidence that no one else knew other than Kinjo. It's the same story. It's different from that. What I've been doing at that time is that I've been doing before the incident. This is just simply what you've seen and heard testimony. It is meaningless to condemn the truth or falsehood in the testimony. Did you forget what you said? It's utterly disappointing, Tsurugi Kinjo. Even though I was thinking you were just a crazy guy, I admitted your reasoning skills, but now, you've stopped thinking with your head. But since the situation is quite desperate, isn't Kinjo trying to do everything he can? Kurokawa, is there no way to prove it? Your testimony, I mean. I don't know why I have to do this. Why not ask Satsuki or Teruya? Huh? You've heard about my testimony. Teruya admitted that he entered the arsenal a while ago. What about Satsuki? If I was out at dawn, well, like Kurokawa said, since I'm the killer above top, of course, I wandered around at dawn. Even if we ignore the backstory, Dark Circle's testimony is reliable in its own right now. If I were you, I would have known that right away, without having to do this cumbersome work. You're noisy. As long as your reasoning hits a wall, it's a way to do what you can. Hey, you admitted with your own words that your reasoning is black now. That's funny. Be quiet, Mikaro. You're on the same level as we are right now. Do you think you're in a position to mock others now? That's enough. How come Kurikawa can have this powerful voice in a class trial? Well, ain't that a $1 million question? Everyone, don't get worked up since this is a difficult case. We need to regain stability more than usual. So let's calm down and look back again from the beginning. There must be something we missed. Sorry, as Meta says, I was getting too excited. I apologize. Then, Teruya Otori is not the culprit, I'm sure up to this point. Even if that's true, we'll have to double check. Teruya, are you really sure you sent a letter to Haruhiko and loaded the bullets? Well, yeah. I'll say, I still can't believe I'm not the culprit. I didn't really read the Monokuma file properly, so in a hurry, I saw the right hand ruptured, so I guess I was the one who did it. That probably isn't a lie. Teruya really thought he was the killer. He said a little while ago, as if confessing. He told us he was going to be executed. It's not likely, but something came to my head. Can I speak? Go ahead. An accomplice, or in fact, there were two culprits. How about it? Dismiss. Anyways, all opinions from your brain like that or what? I didn't even expect it. Rubbish opinions like that. A story not worth considering. Anything like that, just scrapple it, take it out of your brains and throw it into the trash. That's unfair. You said that because I was just thinking my own way. If Teruya had an accomplice, there would have been a person who objected at the time of him being accused as the culprit. Even if not, Teruya would have confessed everything and made a mistake in the end. But what if there was a real criminal and pointed out Otori-kun as the culprit? Everyone except the real culprit dies, right? Can't you think about a development like the culprit used Otori-kun? Oh, you're using your head, but that wouldn't be it. Even if a culprit secretly works behind Teruya Otori to cover up his sins, it is impossible to work without him because of the limited circumstances of the arsenal. And even if there is an accomplice, if we believe using Kurikawa's testimony, the only suspect remaining is Iranami, so she can't be. Huh? Wait a minute. I have a thought that something passed like a flash in my head just now. No, I am the real culprit. You're relentless. Why are you claiming to be the killer? Even after that, you don't know anything about this case. The more you claim to be the culprit, the more you claim your innocence. You still don't notice? Let's organize our thoughts first. Teruya is not the culprit. He didn't shoot. What Teruya did was call Haru by using a letter and make a trap that explodes the gun by misloading a bullet. And the person who killed Haruhiko himself. In other words, what the real culprit did, what Teruya didn't do, that is, grabbing a gun to kill Haruhiko, messed up the interior of the arsenal, and finally locked the door with the plank and the grenades. Teruya doesn't know what the real culprit did. If we think it like that, conversely, does the culprit know what Teruya did? No, the real culprit wouldn't know what Teruya did. As Mikaro said earlier, what Teruya did was unknown to anyone since he was in the closed space of the arsenal, unless the culprit directly sees it or Teruya tells them in advance. Then who is the killer? Wait guys, there's something I want to check for a moment. Maeda? Before Kurikawa watched during the morning, from that point on, what if someone was hiding inside the arsenal? Could there be such a case? No, I don't think it would happen. Hinjo was tied up and I saw Tyra going to the room before. Mikaro, the last time she went into the empty room to the left of the dance hall, she didn't exit the room at all. When did you see this? Well, you're right. I was investigating the empty room all day long. Then there are only two suspects that Kurikawa has seen, and they don't know what each one have done. In other words, the real culprit doesn't know what Haruhiko received the letter, and they don't know why their hand was ruptured. But for some reason, Haruhiko was shot with a gun and killed. There's someone who could fit the conditions right now. That termed themselves at the start of this trial. They entered in the suspect view since they moved at dawn, and no one else could commit a crime at this stage. But is a person really the culprit? If so, why in the world? Okay, we'll hear you out. Okay, we will hear you out. All of you guys won't admit to it, but I think I know now the identity of the culprit. What, Mannequin, you know the killer? The person who satisfies all the conditions as the true culprit of this case. It can only be you. Satsuki. What? Satsuki's the killer? Hooray, you finally came to think of me as a culprit. Only Yuki understands me. Why are you so happy? I'm so glad. Wait, look at her now. She was picked as the culprit, but she looks rather content. Do you really think that Satsuki is the culprit? Think about it. The only one who could possibly do this is Satsuki. At the beginning of the trial, when Satsuki came out saying she was the culprit, we were trying to interrogate her to see if she really was. However, Satsuki had no idea of the letter that called Haruhiko and his destroyed right hand, which we thought the culprit would know. Of course, we thought because of these reasons that she wasn't the real culprit. But take a look. The two things mentioned earlier are actually from Teruya's doing, not the culprits. Teruya didn't know that there was someone who killed Haruhiko by shooting him with a separate gun. So on the contrary, did the culprit know that Teruya sent a letter and destroyed his hand? Probably not. It would be impossible to know Teruya's actions unless he himself told the culprit in advance. Then the real culprit would be a person who doesn't know why the letter was sent to Haruhiko's room and his right hand exploded, even though they didn't know why his hand ended up that way. And there's someone who meets these conditions. The person who confessed with their own voice that they killed Haru by shooting them, but didn't mention about the right hand nor the letter. And that person is Satsuki. Well, I'm not sure what you're saying because it's difficult, but anyways, that's right. It was me. I killed Haruhiko. I think Madoka's reasoning is making sense, but I don't really understand Satsuki-chan's appearance being like that. But why did you do this, Satsuki-chan? Why do you like it so much when you're being named as a killer? Kumashikawa was close to you, Satsuki-chan. With her own hands, how can you say it so lightly that you killed him? Weren't you sad? Think again, incompetent. Of course it's possible to commit a crime as you said. There's only that woman, but that is absolutely not the reaction of a killer. I'm not crazy, it's very normal. Actually, I don't know why Sasuke reacts like that. I keep saying that she's the culprit, however, I can't think of any other reasoning. Mada's words make sense. In fact, at the time Teruya was not found to be the killer. It was enough to doubt Satsuki because of the circumstances. Maybe as soon as the trial began, Sasuke couldn't be the culprit. We were stuck in stereotypes, and we didn't think about it more thoroughly. There you go. Satsuki, I'll check once more. Are you the culprit? Haruhiko, you killed him with a gun in your hand. Yeah, that's right, I'm the killer. Wait, if you're the real culprit, can you explain why you're so positive? You were like the one constantly appealed to him as the culprit. I don't know, just when the trial started, it became bothersome to make excuses, so that's why I just confessed. Now if it's decided, go ahead and execute me. If you saw so refreshingly like that, it doesn't look like you're a criminal, on the contrary. I have my doubts too. In the first place, Satsuki-chan doesn't have a personality to kill. Even thought that she's resolute to this point. Like Mikaru said, it rather seem like we're choosing the wrong killer and we're gonna die together. That's not it at all, I was just telling the truth. What do I do? It's hard to make sure after identifying the killer. This attitude Satsuki has, it's a reaction that defies understanding, like Mikaru said. Even like this, can I still punch Satsuki as the culprit? Everyone stop. Why are you thinking about a crime is possible but the reaction is weird? Wake up already. The crime is impossible even for Satsuki. Why is that? But Kenjo, based on the testimony by Kurokawa, Haruhiko, Teruya, and Satsuki entered the arsenal at dawn. Of them, Teruya was the first to come out of the arsenal and Haruhiko entered the arsenal. Because he was walking through the corridor with Satsuki just before this point, they entered the arsenal together, then that means... Perhaps it was at this time that Haruhiko used the gun, and this is likely to be true just by looking at the size of the arsenal opening. Satsuki coming out alone from the corridor. Back off, man. You said it with your own words just now. Sasuke kills Haruko and gets out of the arsenal all alone. If she came up, how did she lock the door then? It's a clue that you guys found and checked yourselves, right? It is impossible to block the door from the outside in that way. If so, the killer was in the arsenal at least until Meta and Tsuruya opened the door. However, Sasuke came out of the arsenal before this. Does this sound like she could still be the killer? And if you look at Sasuke's reaction, that girl used a weapon, but it seems she doesn't know that the arsenal was blocked. So now what? Is Sasuke a ninja now? What was that again? Oh wait, I know, maybe you don't know, but what if you use the plank of wood as a barricade? It seems you were asleep during the trial. How about it? Is there anyone who still thinks Sasuke is the culprit? After listening to Kinjo, it seems that Sasuke is really not the culprit. In the end, the problem lies with the arsenal door being blocked. If we solve this, there should be no problem even if Sasuke is the culprit. Even if you think about it again, it is impossible to put a wood plank inside the arsenal from the outside with grenades on it. There's no time frame at all. I think the current prerequisites were all wrong. The public here won't solve this mystery. I'd rather go back from the very beginning and reorganize the case instead. Well, that sounds nice and all, but I hate it when the trial is taking too long, don't you? It's not a warning, but you better wrap things up soon. The alibis of Dawn, Horikawa's testimony, Tsuruya's behavior, the wood plank to block the arsenal, and Sasuke's incomprehensible reactions. Maybe. Have we missed something else? Why does Sasuke has that attitude in the first place? Even Kinjo seems to be confused. Our reasoning is at the very core right now. I think Kinjo's right, blocking the door to Sasuke. This is a big problem. My mind is getting more and more complicated. Right now, this is the most important aspect of the case. The arsenal door, the wood plank, the grenades. How to block the door from the outside. Wait, you don't need to go back to the start. If you think about it a little, it should become clear. It's another waste of time. Wait a minute, what's the reason for the flash grenade and the smoke screen? The moment the door opens, if the criminal hidden inside escapes through the light and smoke, then the trick to block the arsenal from the inside is solved. But I'm afraid not. This was already mentioned. It's ridiculous when you think about Dark Circle's testimony at the very beginning. It's been seen that Tsuruya, Atora, and Sasuke, Iranami, both of them came out of the arsenal. Inside the arsenal, the last one who came out was Sasuke, I'm sure. But opening the door and coming out of the arsenal means the door was not blocked until that last moment. Well, in a word, doesn't that mean that the body of Haruko was left alone in the arsenal until just before Maya and I opened the door together in the morning? What is that? It doesn't make sense. It wasn't that the body was alive and blocked the door alone. Oh no, this is starting to sound creepy somehow. Huh? Wait a second, what did you just say? That it started to get creepy? No, before that. The body moved and blocked the door like a zombie from a movie? Well, of course it won't. Such health science is unscientific. It's like that bear in front of our very eyes. It's unscientific. Hey, what the heck did you just say? I'll have you know I'm a cutting-edge science product. The body moved and blocked the door? Of course, a reality like that does not exist. But as Tsuruya said earlier, it was Haru alone who remained in the arsenal until the end. No way! Could it be? The person who blocked the door to the arsenal, that person's identity is... A flash of... fine. Oh boy. Get back here. Damn it. Come out, letters. Exciting. Come out. Shoot. Nice. Nice. God damn it. God damn it. Come out, letters. Come out, wherever you are. There you go. Complete. That's it. It has to be only him. The identity of the person who blocked the door to the arsenal. Really? Medico, do you know who the killer is? I don't think you're about to say it was Chicago just because the body moved, right? I was just joking. No, thanks to Tyra, I could come up with something else. That's right, the only one that could block the arsenal door was no one else other than Haruhiko. Eh? Haruhiko is the culprit? You're saying he committed suicide? Wait, have you forgotten as Bonnie-kuma said, suicide is forbidden, and if you kill yourself in any way or form, he will treat it as a dog's death. Haruhiko was murdered by someone other than himself. That's why Bonnie-kuma treated this as a case and a class trial was held like this. No, Maeda never said that he committed suicide. He said that the person who blocked the door to the arsenal was Haruhiko. What? Like Maeda said, the person who killed Haruhiko with a gun is the killer, Satsuki. But it was impossible for Satsuki. The task of blocking the arsenal, but was possible for Haruhiko. How about it? This means the reason why Satsuki can't be the culprit. It's now gone. No, that can't be possible. The fact that Haruhiko blocked the door to the arsenal is just a simple assumption. That may be possible in context. There's no evidence of this. No evidence? No, there's proof of this. I don't mean ill will, just because Haru blocked the door without any evidence. But Kinjo wouldn't be aware of this evidence. Why does he argue so much? Now let's not bother right now. Now the case comes first. The evidence that Haru may have blocked the arsenal door is... Ta-da! Unnatural blood stains. There's evidence. It's the blood. Blood? The blood that's splattered in the arsenal. Everyone has seen it, right? Didn't you think it was a little strange looking? Oh, it certainly felt a little weird. It felt like, well, you know, it was a road made by blood rather than a blood spot. That's right, it looks like bloodstains wandering around in the arsenal. After Haruhiko was shot, would it explain he was bleeding while looking for boards, flash, and smokescreen grenades? It is plausible, but would it be compelling that Haruhiko Kubashikawa himself locked the door of the arsenal simply by looking at his blood? It's not reasoning, but a realm of speculation. But it's not a contradiction. Only Haruhiko has a certain possibility, and even if the culprit dragged the body, there's no reason for it, only leaves evidence behind. No, it is a contradiction. Kinjo. I could see that all Maeda's words were all true, but Haruhiko was murdered by a very cruel killer. Let me ask a simple question. Why in the world would the victim help elaborating more tricks for the killer, if not to leave evidence of their crime? The answer is, you don't know about that. But if you wander around about emotional things and look at only the information left in the case, it makes sense that it is Haruhiko that just closed the door even with the process of elimination method. This is not about being emotional. This is about the victim helping the killer. There can't be such a thing. Stockholm Syndrome? I don't believe any of that crap. That kind of thing is psychotic. Says you. Even that requires the premise that the killer had some kindness and gentle behavior towards their victim. But does this reflect reality? Did the killer show kindness to Haruhiko? No, rather they murdered them in cold blood. Maeda's reasoning is the worst, not to mention forced and far-fetched. Hey, what is this Stockholm Syndrome? It's when victims are held hostages by a robber or kidnapper, but rather they think of them as their saviors. It's like a phenomenon that antagonizes rescuers, police, etc., and they take the criminal's side. Kinjo, it's weird. If you were the usual you would have rather ruled out such emotional things and reasoned it out by considering the logical situations. You said I was being emotional? This is natural. You just don't see it. If the victim who deserves salvation agrees to the obvious evil, it becomes impossible to reason with. The choice is not logical here. Saving them is what I have to do. I can't leave alone your pretentious reasoning, and besides that, there are loopholes in Maeda's reasoning. I'll just do what I have to do. I'll refute you. Alright, refute away, guy. I'll correct that ridiculous reasoning, Maeda. What the hell are you doing, Kinjo? You know it's best that there's no more to refute here. You're making an unacceptable reasoning from my point of view. That can't happen. And it shouldn't happen. And if there's anything to refute, then I'll do it, Maeda. Alright. Don't need to get angry. Yes. Fuck. I don't remember the controls. Son of a bitch. Just when I need it the most, you do this to me. You do this to me. Oh, my throat hurts. God damn it. Say something that makes sense, Maeda. Why does the victim help for the killer? Owie. Besides, if you listen to Iranami, she tried to kill Haru by herself. She said she shot in self-defense. It's not enough to leave more clues on the culprit. Why would the killer help with his own death? Progress. However, it's impossible for Satsuki to block the door to the arsenal. Tsurugi, you know that, right? At that point, it was only Haruko in the arsenal who could have done this. Yeah. The unnatural bloodstains support this fact. Fekete. No, it's just blood spots. It's possible the killer moved the body. Why would they do that? First, Haruko was shot in the chest. Without saying anything, instant death. Yeah, right. No. But did you just say that it wasn't instant death? Like, people can still live after a bullet wound? Just you don't have to pull out the bullet, stuff like that? Kinjo, that's wrong. Haruko did not die immediately. You can say what you want, Maeda. As I said, Haruko had his chest pierced. Since the bullet hit his body, with a wound like that, he would have no choice but to die immediately. No, Haruko did not die immediately. His chest was struck, but the bullet penetrated through Haruko without getting stuck in his body. Because the amount of shock is relatively less than the one that gets stuck, it would have been possible for him to move. Speculations. Anyone can make that claim. Stop it now, Kinjo. This is not speculation. It was you, Tsurugi Kinjo, who told me this. Ugh. Incompetent. Is that true? If it's about the bullet pierce, of course I'm well aware of it, but was it a cop who told you about this? Yeah, during the investigation, I thought he had died because he was shot in the chest at first, but Kinjo told me. I heard that his death might not have been immediate, but he could have trouble breathing, so he was able to move for a little more time. That's... At the time, I just said it was a guess only. Kinjo-kun, why are you arguing so much? In this case, it's like Kinjo-kun is the culprit. We named Sasuke-chan as the culprit. And Kobayashi-kun did the back work, but why are you still arguing so much? Shut up, criminal. Haruko was murdered. He was also labeled as the victim that I had to protect. A victim who deserved protection. Was actually on the killer's side? Something like that, it can't be. I wonder if Tsurugi had a thing for Satsuki, because she was all pure and innocent. Speculation. Kinjo. Yeah, I can't listen to this far-fetched logic. According to your logic, Kizuna Tomori was also a victim, but in reality, she was actually a terrifying bitch who was planning a crime. Are you saying that you would tolerate Tomori's murder plan? That's wrong. In that case, it was due to the accident, not the victim. Also, refuting such a subject to the incompetent which he was. Haruko Kobayashi tried to kill Satsuki Iranami. It makes no sense to help him in a situation where it leaves more evidence to the culprit. But look here, the victim you had to protect was the reverse toward. After trying to kill someone? They are very good citizens indeed. No. I am... What the hell am I for so many days? Many for... Kinjo? Kinjo-kun is down. Kinjo, wake up. Kinjo. Hey, hold it right there. We're still on trial. I don't admit going out of the courtroom at your own will. But Kinjo is... Oh, this is a headache. Fainting and getting upset during a trial. It's a taboo to get out from the courtroom during the trial. But I guess it can be helped. Kinjo-kun, I'll take him to the dormitory. You guys don't have to move. Stay in your seats. Wow, he's short-circuited there. Everyone's been waiting for a while, right? Kinjo-kun arrived safely to his dorm bed, so don't worry about it, and let's continue the trial. But this doesn't make things fun. Now, Kinjo-kun is outside the courtroom. The fact that he was sent out means that he wasn't the culprit. Now the number of people has decreased by 1. Dun dun dun. Kinjo, I'm sure he'll be okay. It's the first time that Kinjo looked like that. As Monokuma said, we're still on trial. Forget about him for now. He's not even dead, is he? Alright. So, where did we left off? The culprit is Satsuki. She couldn't block the door to the arsenal. Only Haruhiko. Is it okay to make this decision then? Does anyone have a different opinion? A different opinion? I think that's the only thing we have. There's no disagreement. Of course, it's logical. As Kinjo said, I also don't understand why Haruhiko Kobayashikawa, in the victim's position, helped the killer. Well, I don't know either. After all, it's like we won't get a different decision now, right? Then if you name me as the culprit, there will be no complaints and no one will be dissatisfied. Wait, not yet. What else? You said that there was no reason to disagree. Why did Haruhiko Kobayashikawa help the killer? And why this killer is so excited? The same goes for me. Satsuki, the reasoning about this case is over. Perhaps only look at the reasoning result. I can't argue that Satsuki is the culprit. However, why? Why call yourself the killer? Are you trying to die? Why, you ask? Well, like I said earlier, it became a nuisance, so that's a good reason, right? I'm not good at lying, but I think I do better than Satsuki-chan. Don't mess around. If you'll be executed if you let this go, but if you die, the truth of this case will remain as a matter that will be solved. I'm a woman who doesn't give up until I know 100% the problem I've challenged. Please tell us, Satsuki, if you really are the culprit, you have a duty to take responsibility for your actions. Tell me, when I thought I was the culprit, all I could do was get blamed. Why are you trying to hide? Let us hear it, Satsuki. I don't know. I'm just a culprit, that's all I am. What? She started shouting. I don't know. Back up. Satsuki. As long as she stays like this, we'll have to force you to open your mouth, Satsuki, about the secret of this incident in which Haru was involved, and the reason for your actions in claiming that you were the real culprit all along. Let's see. No, I think it's a shooting thingy, right? I think I've already equipped the auto reloading thingy. Yay! This is helpful. Damn it. Yeah. The other pistol broke Haru's hand. Yeah, should have brought that earlier. Oh wow, finally, fair scoring. God damn. The reasoning isn't over yet, Satsuki. It's already over. No, it isn't. There's one more thing we've overlooked and crossed. Does anyone know? Was there anything like that? As Satsuki-chan said, wasn't the reasoning over? It's about the pistol that destroyed Haruko Kamashikawa's right hand. That's right, because we decided it was Teruya's doing it earlier, we went over it. Actually, if you think a little bit, it wasn't Teruya that destroyed Haruko's right hand. What are you saying? That makes no sense, man. I replaced the bullet, and Haruko grabbed it as intended, and his right hand was destroyed. Stupid fool. If what you say is true, the gun he touched should have been shattered as well. Why would it remain intact? Alright, come to think of it, even when Otoriko was rushed as a culprit, he said he didn't know why it ended up like that. That's right, I was freaking out for excuses. When I think about it again, if Haru uses the gun as I intended, the gun should have blown up. Teruya, are you sure you didn't touch the two guns? Right, I can assure you this. Trust me, only I touched one gun unconditionally. Wait a minute, then won't it get even more weird? Unless Teruya did it, why did Kamashikawa get caught in the same trap Otoriko did and injured his right hand? That can't be deduced by us alone. Except for one person, Satsuki. I don't know. No, you most likely know why. Satsuki, don't you remember? At the beginning of the class trial, you said Haruko tried to shoot you, and then you grabbed a gun and shot him in self-defense and ended up killing him. From here on out, it's just my thoughts. If Satsuki's words were true, wouldn't it have been that Haruko knew the gun would explode? He knew it was going to explode? Deliberately breaking his hand, was he trying to commit suicide? Maybe so. Ugly. Let me tell you, this is just unfounded imagination. Just listen for now. I don't know how someone changed the bullets in the same manner that Teruya did, but it probably was Haruko himself who did it. Since the second half of the trial, the word suicide continued to rattle, because this case was just too weird to see it as an ordinary murder scenario. But in the end, Haruko did not commit suicide because Monokuma doesn't deal with suicides. Even if he wanted to commit the act, he wouldn't have done it because it just ends as a wasted death. So perhaps he thought about it like this: why is Haruko trying to save Satsuki? Tried to save her? Deliberately aiming at Satsuki, the gun that explodes when shooting. Surprised, Satsuki shoots in response. Even if she shot on the floor, she doesn't get hurt, and only his hands fly away. And because Satsuki shot him, his death wasn't treated as suicide. Later, when Satsuki leaves in surprise, he remains alone in the arsenal. He himself does the extra effort to make the case even more complicated. Like for example, blocking the door to the arsenal and messing with the guns. But of course, there's no evidence of this. It's just my imagination. The fact that Haruko blocked the door seemed to be trying to help the killer, so I thought about it as a basis. Haruko, in order to save Satsuki, means he gave up his life? Hold on, that's plausible, but you always finish with the line of your imagination. There's a 0% chance that the incompetent's words are true. Why? I was listening to Mannequin and I was rather thinking that that was the truth. Think first, he gave up his life and tried to save someone else? Humans aren't that simple. They would be afraid to do it, even in an ordinary circumstance, but it would be even more unreasonable in an extreme situation where there's no food and living like us. But not long ago, Hatano, for Chira, she threw away her life. Ayami-chan. That's not the case now. At that time, even the most extreme situation wasn't there, and she didn't save Akane Chira with 100% pure intentions. Did you forget Ayami Hatano clearly had a desire to save Akane Chira, but she also wanted to escape from here. She committed murder with such a sloppy heart, although eventually she revealed her true face to us. However, in the case of Haruko Kamashikawa, like Ayami Hatano, there is not a single reason for themselves. According to the incompetent, he gave up his life 100% purely to only save Satsuki Iranami. No matter how close Haruko Kamashikawa was with Satsuki Iranami, it would be absurd to say that they were family members and gave up their lives in these extreme circumstances. Of course, if that's true, then it deserves my respect. I know, what I said, it was an unfounded idea. You didn't really have to refute it like that. Of course, I'm not saying it's absolutely impossible like that crazy cop. I don't think so. But it is absurd. If he had been thinking of Satsuki Iranami like that, he would have done something earlier, but I don't have a clue. But if Medico's words are wrong, how would you describe the reason for Kamashikawa-kun's right hand? I'll have to think about that more. As expected, it's not going to work out the way I thought. It seems like it's too absurd, as Mikaro says, and it's very difficult for someone to make a decision in order to save her life to the point of even giving up his life. Anyways, there's no objection that Satsuki is the culprit, is there? Do we really want to go over Haruko's right hand? I like this wrapped up as soon as possible. I'm getting bored of it. No, but we have to know the truth of this case. It's true. What? Yuki, are you a psychic? It's exactly as if you read someone's mind. What are you talking about? I don't feel like an adult to keep trying to hide it and be a nuisance to all of you. I don't think the trial will ever be over at this rate. And as Yuki said, as long as you commit a murder, you gotta be responsible for it. Satsuki. Where should I start? Oh yes, it's Kobazin came to my room early in the morning. You know, until this moment came, I couldn't imagine how everything played out. Who is it, Kobazin? What's wrong going around at dawn like this? You'll get hungry. I think I'm going to die hungry then killed. Ugh. Satsuki, this is not a joke, so listen seriously. I have something to say to you. Kobazin? Okay, alright, tell me. It will take a little time. Follow me for a minute. Kobashikawa, isn't this the arsenal? Why this place? Satsuki, is your body okay? You haven't eaten anything in a few days now. Is it painful? Yeah, I'm hungry enough to die, but except for that, I'm fine. But what's this all of a sudden? It's giving me goosebumps. Actually, I have a favor to ask you. What do you want to ask? Kill me. What are you saying? Did you commit a sin for being a perv? I get it. It's delightful that Kobazin is lusting for his girls, but it's not enough to kill you. I said I wasn't playing around. Sorry. No, it was my bad. Sorry I shouted out of nowhere. Damn it, how do I explain this? Kobashikawa, are you about to die? I've been thinking all this time. When this division was born, it was our fault, right? Even if we had a little more food left, it wouldn't have been so serious. I can't deny it. Besides, until now, Kinjo was guarding the arsenal, so no murder occurred. But eventually Kinjo went crazy. No one is guarding the arsenal right now. If we don't make a decision now, someone will definitely commit a murder. So that's what Kobashikawa wants to say. Okay. You mean that the two of us who are the most guilty will take responsibility? Honestly, I didn't want to involve you. It was me who first suggested to eat the food. I wanted to end up by dying if I could. But I remembered Monokuma's words. A murder case must happen in order to escape the ballroom, and suicide is not accepted. In the end, you can't solve it alone, so you need someone's help, but the person who helps you will also be bound to be executed for being the culprit. So I'll be in risk of death too. Yeah, I have no other person to suggest, only Teruya or you, who committed the same crime. But you know, me and him are in bad ways right now. Of course, I have no intention of recommending this, but the moment you accept this, you will die, Satsuki. Okay, I'll cooperate. What? I'm saying I'll do what Kobazin wants? So suddenly like this, will you be okay with it? That you're going to die? Well, even if we're in the ballroom, we're gonna die anyways. That's not what I... Rather than staying still like this and watching my friends become murderers, or starving them to death, I prefer to save everyone and die with Kobazin. Satsuki, damn it, I'm really sorry because of me. You really are a good girl. However, there's one condition. What? What condition? I don't want to kill Kobazin, so Kobazin killed me. What? What are you talking about? It's the same no matter what way we die. But why do you want to die by my hand? If I become the culprit, I'll be executed by Monokuma then. I hate that. I'd rather be killed by Kobazin. We're going to grab a gun in the arsenal here anyway and kill me, but do you think it hurts a lot when you're shot? It's not a pain or a problem. I don't like being killed by a thing like Monokuma. You don't want to? No, there's no way I can kill you. Same goes for me. How can I kill Kobazin? They kept messing around. There will be no end to this. Instead of fighting, why don't we sit down with this nonsense? That's because Kobasing first looks at me and suggests the impossible thing to kill him. If you can't, why do you accept that? Then don't do it. That's no good, I've already decided. Then kill me already. Again, I can't do that. I really value Kobasing, so killing my friend is... I'm not happy that I'm your favorite, okay? Wow, Kobasing's face is blushing. Ah, idiot. I'm talking about an important thing here, and we're going back and forth. I'm not messing around. Ow, my stomach hurts because I haven't eaten anything. Are you okay? You know, we don't have much time either. It's a fact that I might die tomorrow. In the meantime, the others may be in pain or planning a murder. Everyone's in trouble. Sasuke, what if we do it like this? Have you ever seen a Western movie? Western movie? Haven't seen it, but I know what it is. They walk back and forth in a courtyard, they turn around and shoot at the same time after some time passes. Yeah, let's decide with that. In the worst case of this, we could kill each other, but it's still not suicide, so the others will be able to live. It's uncomfortable that I have to shoot Kobasing, but okay, that would be fair. Let's do it with that. Alright, if it's decided, let's move. Pick one pistol. Kobasing, are you still not done? What's taking you so long to pick a gun? Wait a minute, almost done. Okay, are you ready, Satsuki? I'm not a girl who goes back on their word. Besides, it seems to be more fun to decide this way. Fun, you say? I already said it again and again, but seriously. I mean, we played a lot of games so far, right? Basketball, running, poker, darts, and as a result of doing my best without looking at our fights at all, the total was equal. Was it like that? I remember the results of all our previous matches, so probably so far, Kobasing and I had 14 matches, 6 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws in perfect balance. You really have a good memory on useless places. Suddenly I thought this was the last game, so it made me feel strange. I can't believe that I'm risking my life at all. If you want to give up now, you can tell me. I really don't want to force you. No, because I'm serious too. Like Kobishikawa said, I'll stop playing around. Are you ready? Yeah. From here, go back and take 3 steps. We'll shoot at the same time after that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Turn around. Satsuki! Haruhiko! Is this the same guy that Tsurui used? No, it's not, right? Yeah. Kobashikawa? Hey, how come the broken gun ended up there? Oh, okay. Kobashikawa, Haruhiko, why did you do this? Good, Sasuke. The last game was my victory. That's not what I mean. Why did Kobashikawa's hand explode? Sorry. I saw it. This is unbelievable. Let's do it again. I was worried what would happen if I died immediately in case I was hit in a bad spot. Fortunately, it looks like I'm still alive. Yeah. I'll tell you what I can. Sorry, Satsuki. I lied. Because you killed me and wanted to save everyone. That's not the truth. What? Who I really wanted to save was you, Satsuki. Me? It was useless information, so I didn't tell the others because it would just confuse them, but I was searching for a few days and I found a badge with the head of Monokuma on it. Because I found it, Monokuma appeared and said he would give it as a prize and congratulated me on finding the treasure. That's the treasure, Monokuma said? It was really here? There, it showed me a photo of me and you. Kissing. Doing a selfie. Kobashikawa, even at a time like this, what kind of joke? It's real. It shows our commemorative photo with you as my lover. You shouldn't forget. And then it vanished. Komashikawa and Satsat. We've never done such a thing. It's the same for me too. There are no memories of pictures of me and you, let alone kissing. We met here for the first time a month ago. Ugh. But why? It doesn't feel odd. Even if that photo was a manipulation, I felt unknown emotions, and I thought that I didn't want to let you die. So they were a thing, huh? I have no idea what you're saying, Komashikawa. Stop it, it's too cheesy. Put up with it. I'm already going to die anyways. I wanted to say this much, that maybe I've liked you after some point. Even if I die like this, there are guys like Kinjo, Mikari, and Meta, so they'll find out about this in a minute. So you better go back to your room. Act as usual. Pretend you don't know anything. Leave the rest to me. Why you say that, Komashikawa? Stop it. Stop talking. No matter how much they think, they won't know that I, the victim, did all these tricks. Part of it was to pretend to shoot you on purpose and give away my right hand. This is a pretty old gun. It can explode by pulling the trigger, even if you put normal bullets in the magazine. Komashikawa, you can't die. No, I'm going to die. And Satsuki, you can live. Leave it to me. I can't make someone as cheerful and happy as you die like this. Kobazing, I'm sorry for doing this in such a crappy way. And when the trial is over, tell the other guys that you're sorry too. I'm sorry that I fought with Teruya. I'm sorry for sacrificing Kinjo and the others. I'm sorry that my feelings don't want Sasuke to sacrifice herself. Damn, dude. Oh, damn it. It hurts real badly. Kobazing, don't move. Don't die. Of course, I'm doing this in order to die. Once you leave, I have to get the job done. You have to go now, before someone sees this. I hate this. This is wrong. I want to save you. Please go. Because this is my last wish. Please listen. I want you to live. But leave. Yeah, just do that. Thank you, Satsuki. Whether it was real or fake, I still loved you. And then I went back to my room. As Komashikawa said, I stayed still until morning. I didn't know what trick Komashikawa was going to do at the time. I wasn't sure until I heard your story in the trial. This is all I know. Like Yuki said, Kobazing was by me while intentionally trying to save me, in order to confuse you while doing so. In other words, he did everything in order to save me. Damn, yeah, what is this? This is too much. Haruhiko was apologizing to me, and I tried to kill him. I see now. If he saw the letter sent by Teruya, he wouldn't go to the arsenal in reverse. Nevertheless, the reason Komashikawa went to the arsenal was because Haruhiko didn't even notice Teruya's letter from the very beginning. It was only to sacrifice himself and so save only Satsuki. Hold on. Then why? Why did he did it the same way as Teruya Otori? The gun exploded in his hand the same way. Unless he did some kind of trick and did it in advance. That's what I thought too. But when Haruhiko chose a gun, he was doing something in the corner for a long time. He was the kind of guy who was telling me that guns weren't fun or usual, so I wonder if he had some kind of knowledge about them. The stupid idiot. He really gave up his life for others? No, for Satsuki only. And you just kicked the opportunity that he arranged to let you survive? What were you thinking? I don't understand this at all. I know that Komashikawa couldn't like me, and he didn't want to do this. After all this, I've been struggling a lot since then, until the glass trial was held. I don't think that's the way. It's so unreasonable for all of you to die just for one person, right? I feel sorry for betraying Koba Ishikawa, but I'll be happy if you guys live. How can that be? Blood-related familiar actions are a law that puts one's life most importantly, for people you've just met. Well, I'm not as smart as Megara, so I don't think I can give a very cool reason for it. I just told myself that I was the culprit, because it makes me convince myself that I did this. But then why? Why did you say everything from the very beginning and hide the truth more suspiciously? Because you didn't even say the backstory, you just said that you're a killer, so it's a rather confusing reasoning. That's because of Koba Ishikawa. He decided to take a chance between all of you in order to save me. Because of this, especially if Kinja finds out, would have seemed from Koba Ishikawa's view, who had already died, that I would have insulted him. I didn't want to do anything that would put more disgrace on Koba Ishikawa anymore, because he already died to try to save my life. That's why I told you at the end. Still, I don't think badly of Koba Ishikawa. He wouldn't have thought of this, and if it wasn't for Koba Ishikawa, we would have all died. Such a thing. It's not possible. Satsuki-chan, are you really satisfied with that? Even if you live, you will die. No, I'm fine dying, but why are you all so worried? I'm very fine with my choice. No matter what happens, don't forget to smile. It's one of the teachings of my own brother, and it's my belief too. But after Haruhiko died, you cried, right? That's off topic. Please just think Satsuki wasn't Satsuki for a minute. Satsuki. Yuki. Thanks to Yuki, I was able to do everything. Rather, I feel relieved. Oh yeah, I was impressed to see Mary come up with the whole truth about Koba Ishikawa. Yuki is a real teacher in my heart. Well then, Yuki. I think we can finish the trial soon. Give me that thing you always do at the end. That? Yeah, that. Climax reasoning. Let's go. Would you like to... Even the translation is sad. Listen and prepare tears. Tears are ready. Oh boy, what an emotional trial. Quite possibly, yeah, this is the best Fangan ever. Let's see. So Teruya first wrote the thingy and... yeah, place it here. Next up, they were like, huh? Didn't bother to see the note. They were like, yeah, let's argue, yada yada. And then they decided something. Oh, they came up with the conclusion, yeah. Use the guns together. And then Kobashi was like, yep, take a long time. Shot. Get exploded. And then was like, Nice, let's see. I wonder which one goes first. Blocking the arsenal or... So it's you at away. Did you wandering around? Nah. Wrong. There you go. Then put it here. Put it there, partner. First, the case begins with not from the criminal nor the victim, but from Teruya. Teruya couldn't stand the extreme situation and began working on a plan to kill Haruhiko, the victim of this case. Teruya first started to write a note to Haruhiko asking him to come to the arsenal. This was done with the paper and pen that only Teruya had in the ballroom, where there was nothing else other than weapons. Teruya had finished writing the note, then pushed it up through the doorframe of Haruhiko's room. This was the same way that Mitch did in the first murder. The Teruya who put the note safely into the room first entered the arsenal before Haru arrived. This was in order to do some work. Their task was to load non-standard bullets into a pistol magazine. When a person shoots the pistol in that state, the gun explodes from the inside and destroys the hand of the person who used it. Teruya used this method to let Haru use the gun and thinking of making him shoot, and that's the reason he went into the arsenal before anyone else. Having done everything he needed to do, Teruya quickly returned to his room and waited for Haru to come out of the room. Teruya's plan was to enter the arsenal later on with Haru. However, Tsuruya returns to his room and stay on watch of the hallway. He fell asleep due to accumulated fatigue. This was everything Tsuruya had influence on this case. Meanwhile, at the time, Haruhi was probably having a lot of trouble thinking in his room. As we just heard, Haru was already planning to save someone dear to them at the cost of his own life. Originally, he felt responsible for running out the food, but the discovery of the treasure was triggered to start this life-threatening plan. As the situation gets more and more extreme, Haruhi feels like he can't wait any longer and begins acting. He decides to meet with the person who was chosen as the culprit for this case. At this time, whether Haruhi saw Tsuruya's note or not is uncertain, but it's very likely he didn't pay attention to it in the first place, because he was immersed in his own thoughts. Haruhi's plan was also a plan that took place in the arsenal, but if he saw the note calling him into the arsenal, he wouldn't have headed there in the first place. Either by luck or misfortune, if Tsuruya hadn't fallen asleep, a fairly complicated mess would have unfolded. After a while, Haruhi safely met the culprit. Until then, the culprit hadn't even realized the true purpose of this case. Haruhi asked the culprit to quietly follow them into the arsenal. They went into the arsenal side by side. One may have thought no one would know, but in fact, all of the actions that Tsuruya and these two were doing while walking around the corridor up to this point were being shown to Kurokawa. She wasn't sleeping from the very start and was keeping watch of the hallway. In actuality, it was Kurokawa that upped most of the weight into solving the mystery of this case. Yeah, that's true. Because Tsuruya went to sleep, the killer and Haru entered the arsenal without anyone's interference. Only then Haruhi was alone with the culprit confessed his feelings for them. I think it went this way. Someone's going to do the murder and ask them to kill themselves before that to save everyone. This is what they asked the culprit to do. Once they accept, the culprit would also be executed for committing a murder. It was certain death, so Haruhi didn't want to force them into making such a difficult task, but the culprit did not hesitate to respond to Haruhi's proposal. However, the culprit refused to kill Haruhi himself. Conversely, they told Haruhi to kill them instead. Haruhi did not want to kill the culprit as the culprit did not want to kill him, and they kept arguing to each other in vain for a while. Haruhi felt there would be no end after going like this, was determined to make a fair suggestion to both sides and asked a decision to shoot each other at the same time, just like a game in a western movie. In the worst case scenario, both could have been shot and died by each other's hand. It didn't violate the two's goals of saving the others, so the culprit agreed with this proposal and began preparing. The culprit and Haruhi were choosing a gun for each other, and we heard that Haruhi was in the corner of the room. This was probably to manipulate the magazine with the bullets at this phase. We all know the very consequences of this. Indeed, Haruhi did the same thing Tsuruya did earlier. It was to load it with non-standard bullets. How Haruhi did the same thing as Tsuruya, I'm not exactly sure whether it was coincidence or not. Maybe it was because Haruhi, who had a lot of interest in firearms from the beginning, so I think he accidentally came up with that method by pure chance. Either way, there is only one reason Haruhi did this. He didn't want to shoot the culprit. The two of them, ready to go, stand a few steps away and pointed their guns at each other after turning around. But even though the culprit sincerely tried to shoot Haruhi, it was going to lose to them from the very beginning. And so as Haruhi intended, his hand was destroyed and he was shot by the culprit at the same time. The culprit, who couldn't understand the situation, ran to Haruhi. Then Haru told them the truth. It wasn't us that Haru really wanted to save, it was the culprit themselves. Although Haruhi was dying, he was hoping that the culprit would survive, and he said he would do the rest to save them since he still was breathing to do one last act. The culprit was unconvinced, but soon they decided to accept Haruhi's last request and left Haru to do the job once they got out of the arsenal. Of course, the trail of this was also being monitored by Kurokawa. After confirming that the culprit was safely gone, Haruhi began the final cleanup while keeping his short life as much as he could. First, Haruhi picked up the flash and smoke grenades from the arsenal. Indeed. And likewise, put a wooden plank inside the arsenal door between the handles, and then put the flash and smoke grenades on top of it. This could only be done by the people inside, and thanks to that, there was a lot of difficulty when we tried to reason it out. The plank served to make the door to be forced open while being crushed, causing the grenades on top to naturally fall on the floor and activate. How did they pull the pin though? Subsequently, Haruko started messing around in the arsenal to make it look like the culprit did it, although it didn't connect to anything. And as a result of repeating a series of processes of blocking the door and cluttering the interior, Haruko's bloodstains were all over the place, inside the arsenal, creating an unnatural bloodstain like a path of blood. Haru, who finished everything just before his life ends, waits to his feelings of satisfaction, because he was able to save someone they cherished. But in the end, later in the trial, the culprit confessed by their own will, however. We weren't able to know that it was Haruhiko who planned all of this. All of this happened at dawn, and later in the morning, Teruya and I broke into the arsenal and Haruhiko's body was found. In fact, in this case, the person who would be called the culprit was close to Haruhiko, and the culprit who just lost his life was the victim himself, who actually finished this trick. But in the end, Haruhiko wanted to save the culprit, even at the cost of his life. The culprit of this incident, the identity of the killer who Haruhiko cherished and wanted them to live so much. Dizzy. Even Yuki's like, the shit? The fuck? God damn it. Satsuki Iranami, it was you. Perfect. Indeed, Maya has good reasoning, but maybe you have a talent for organizing cases too. I'm not happy at all. Satsuki Iranami. Satsuki-chan. Why is the mood so sad? I didn't go out to see you like this. Satsuki, you've always been like that. You're a strong girl. Much stronger than me. Is that a compliment? Hee hee. I don't know if it is strength or not, but even at times like these, it's my goal to be happy even in the worst atmosphere. Well then, Meta's reasoning is over now. Shall we get to the voting time? Satsuki, can you really do that? To just die not being scared? I don't want to die, of course I'm scared, but it's already gone in water. What else can I do but accept it? At least not all of you will die, because you can all live by sacrificing only one. I'm satisfied with that. Oh boy, silence speaks volumes. It gave me the shivers. Hey, nice. Well, fair enough. Cool. Hey, Miss Iranami, why do you keep trying to get ahead of the trial here? I'm the host. Oh well, doesn't matter. It seems like you guys reached a conclusion. And that's all. Now you guys vote with the switch in front of your hands. Who will be chosen as the blackhead? And your answer, will it be the correct answer or the wrong one? Now then, what's it gonna be? The voting ended unanimously. The culprit of this case and the blackhead is... The identity of the blackhead who killed Kobashi Kawakun was Miss Satsuki Iranami. You guys were right, congratulations. Actually, what is with this case? A murder case that is not a murder? If I knew it would be like this, I would have made the rules more thoroughly. Hey, isn't it already too late? Hey, everyone, you guys are doing it badly. I, as the person in charge of this party, can't you please be a little brighter? There's no way I can be happy. Satsuki-chan is going to die now. Because it's painful. Satsuki worked so hard for us, throwing her own life. We couldn't do anything even after reaching this point. You're wrong. It's not that you can't do anything. Satsuki? Yuki, didn't I tell you before? Hope is not to be found, but to be created. You know why I decided to save you all by sacrificing myself? Because that was my own way of creating hope. What do you mean? If I survived by myself, it would have been meaningless to live in a world where there's no fun and no co-buzzing around. And more than anything, my power to defeat that guy is not enough. Oh? I'm smiling right now, but I'm more angry than anyone inside. I hate the mastermind, don't you guys? We're being treated like this because of that big dummy. If it wasn't for him, Kobayashi wouldn't have died. Maki died, Higa died, Tomori died, Hatano died. Yamaguchi wouldn't have died, Inori wouldn't have died, or Uehara either. We know, even if you don't say it. If it wasn't for Monokuma's influence, we would have entered Hope's Peak safely, and have a pleasant school life. That's right. Although more than half of our friends have already died, I want to defeat Monokuma no matter what happens. I want to punish it. I want to smash it. Hey, why are you saying all that stuff in front of someone else's face? So, I'll bet my own hope on all of you. On us? I never wanted much. I'll be leaving this world soon. I just have one thing. No, wait. Please promise me two things. 1. Be sure to survive for Kobuzzing and me. 2. That Monokuma guy. Please give it a good beating to that mastermind. Full paid revenge. Satsuki-chan. This is bad. Really bad. You dare agitate the students as you want in front of me? The headmaster of the school even insult me in my presence? Annoying. Anyways, Miss Aranami was chosen as a blackguard, so she's to be punished in the end. You won't make fun of me anymore when I'm done with you. In that regard, I've prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate clown, Satsuki Aranami, for your crime. Come and give it your best shot. I'm not afraid of anything like you. My friends will definitely kick your sorry butt. Wait, Satsuki, you don't need to be executed. I'd rather die. It's my fault too. I'm a sinner too. It was me who tried to commit a murder. I'm supposed to die. Monokuma, execute me. Satsuki has done nothing wrong. Now then, let's go. A very hard-pounding punish. Monokuma, hold on a minute. Time? What? Jeez, you're tipsy. Way to ruin the mood. Let me say to my friends a few last words. Teruya, didn't someone tell you no one is bad? Monokuma is the bad thing here. Everything is because of that thing. If Teruya keeps feeling guilty, then try harder to catch the mastermind. You don't need to be sorry at all. But if you die and make atonement, then that's the end. Satsuki. And for you, Taira. Taira is strong. You have a very strong heart to overcome Ayami's death. Please keep supporting everyone like you always do. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Satsuki-chan. Thank you. Next is Mikaro. It's the first time I've seen Mikaro act so surprised. I don't know what makes her so surprised about, but as long as Kinju's in that shape, everyone needs a genius like Mikaro. I know this is kind of an unreasonable request, but please try to cooperate with everyone. And find the mastermind who brought this terrible misfortune on all of its victims. And Kurokawa. Stop, shut up. Who said I was waiting for your long speech? Don't say anything disgusting with the smell of hope. Punishment time begins! That's too much. When the villain is found out, you're supposed to wait for them. Let's go hard. Punishment time! Kurokawa and Meta, I didn't get to say anything to you guys, but I'll leave the rest to you guys. Oh wait, one more thing. I almost forgot. Kobuzzing, I love you. Aww. God damn it. That hurts. Holy fucking shit. But they ended up like they're trying to play a hopeless game. Adios, funny red-nosed lady. Sasuke-chan, no. Damn it. What do you think? Sad, right? Desperate, isn't it? What a lame hope. You guys won't be able to do a thing before you punish me. No, it isn't. What was that, man? Who says I'm desperate? I'm not like that at all, right? Mannequin. Of course, I'm really sad that Sasuke died, but we have fully inherited Sasuke's will. You won't stop us anymore. After I came to Host Peak Academy, I'm more full of fighting spirit than ever. Monokuma. Did you suddenly take your medicine? There's nothing scary about burning raw spirit. Alone though, right? He's not alone. Mikaru? From this moment on, I will retract my previous solo actions. I'll cooperate to put Monokuma into the trash. Oh my god, Mikaru-chan, what kind of change is this? Don't be mistaken, I'm not trying to play friends here. I now owe a debt. Because of that, I have to pay it off. Why is Mikaru suddenly doing this again? Miss Mikaru just needs to do as well as before. Poking around and having fun. Why should you care about Miss Iranami? Shut the hell up. Iranami Sasuke is a human being that deserves respect. I've seen this for the first time ever since I was born in this world. To be able to give up one's life so purely for others. That is what I would call true hope. It was a life that guy tried to save anyways. I'm fed up with murder games that are not fun. Murder games that are getting boring. Doesn't that seem like the perfect time to beat you down? Monokuma. No, rather the mastermind controlling you from the shadows. No matter what you try, you can't do anything. It's already beyond your own grasp. No, it was you who kept us in the ballroom. We made up our minds, right before they died. You will run out of ideas. We will already know a lot more about you than you can imagine. Now it is you who's cornered. Well, I don't know, but everyone is working hard, so I will too. I'll do my share for Haruhiko's sake. Me too, will definitely get you, Monokuma. I'll avenge my friends who have died so far. What's with these guys? Rather than despair, they're burning with fight alone. You guys are bluffing. You can't do a thing anyways. You'll find out soon that you're only left with despair. And so the fourth class trial ended. We lost two of our friends, Haruhiko and Sasuke, who couldn't be exchanged for anything. The will that the two gave us was definitely engraved in our very souls. We're not afraid. A step by step from now on will be a big leap towards true hope. Kinjo, can you hear me? Answer me if you're awake. Immediately after leaving the courtroom, Mikaru finally offered to cooperate with us, disappeared before we could call her. Everyone except for Mikaru went to check on Kinjo's condition. However, Kinjo was silent. We had no choice but to go back to each of our rooms with a little cluttered feeling. What is it? Is it morning? It's not even 7 a.m. Hey, come out already, Maeda. Wait a minute. Cutscene. Why do you take so long to answer? Was it because to feed information to the mastermind? Mikaru? What? That's a moody expression you got. No, it was just Mikaru coming to my room. I wonder if the sky is gonna divide in two now. It can't be helped. As I mentioned yesterday, I decided to cooperate with you in order to defeat the mastermind. I know that, but why did you suddenly change your mind? I told you, I'm going to follow Iranami's idea. Hatana was a great person, but Iranami is more than that. Just because she's a human again. As if, man, don't make me say useless things. You're always drowned in every story, aren't you? Sorry. Also, now you're calling me by my name now. So, are you dissatisfied? Want to be called incompetent for the rest of your life? No, of course not. It's better to be called by my own name. It was a bit embarrassing to be nicknamed incompetent. Though it was accurate. I haven't admitted it yet. I don't want to be friends, but I want to have the least courtesy as long as I have decided to cooperate. Mikaru tends to be weird like this. Usually she looks down on us and ignores us, but she doesn't do it recklessly. She admits something that can be admitted whenever necessary. Stop talking about nonsense. Come to my room right now. What? Mikaru's room? What are you doing today? Suddenly asking for that. I don't care if you got feelings for me, so shut up and follow me. I'm getting tired already. Oh, Rachel, did you bring Mannequin? Tara, Atori, and Kurokawa too. Hey, don't do that shit show. How many times must I repeat that you're not my friends? Everyone, what happened? It looks like Mikaru came out of her room at dawn and called us one by one. Shiruya, those goggles. This one. It was Haru's. It was left in the dressing room. I brought it. This is an atonement for myself and also my own commitment to continue Haru's will. We need to move forward. That's right. The efforts Kabashikawa-kun and Sasuke-chan, we should never forget. The will of our friends who died so far. We can't just be sad anymore. Now it's time for us to fight back. Bit by bit. Very little, but something is starting to change and starts to move. Our hope is not to find it, but to create it. Only these words struck in my mind. So, why did you call us? This is an operational meeting. As long as I have decided to cooperate, everyone here will beat up Monokuma and together we shall escape. Ray-chan, being an ally makes you feel so reliable now. Everyone here. Wait, then, what do we do about Kinjo? When I look at that guy, he's a statue, doesn't respond to anything, and I don't even know if they will ever wake up. But, even if he wakes up, I'm not certain they will ever recover. Then, of course, if you have them, you should be comfortable, but throw away your lingering regrets. We have no choice but to strike out. Because I felt the fighting spirit from you, I chose to cooperate. Mikaru, staying away from us till now. Have you found out something? A lot of pile of things. Those of you who have not found anything are more curious. First off... Wait a minute, there could be a surveillance camera here too. Are you okay with that? Are you an idiot? Of course I know. That's why I called you into my own room. My room is the only one that can jammer? My room is the only one that can jam surveillance cameras. To put it bluntly, it's instant jamming. Instant jamming? Toriko, do you know what she's saying? Not at all. In short, my room is safe. The words here will not be leaked to the mastermind, and her appearance is not visible. Really? Amazing. How did you do it? Power room, audiovisual room, and I assembled some useful parts from the warehouse. That's how I made it. It's only a temporary measure, so even if it's not perfect, it'll be safe. Mikaru, you just didn't spend time alone. Of course not. You better think before inviting you. So, the first goal is to find out the identity of the mastermind. Of course, that is the most important thing. But before that, let's look at the preconditions. Preconditions? Why did we get involved in this division? I mean, that's the biggest mystery. Why did Host Peak Academy become this way? Why doesn't anyone come to save us? But that's the first thing we said with the others, right? At that time, there were both Kinjo and Mikaru, but no conclusion was made. No, unlike that, there's one fact I do know. At first I thought it was a hypothesis, because it was nonsense, but I was convinced after yesterday. Mikaru, you don't mean... Yeah. It's a fact a considerable amount of time has already passed since we entered this school, and the truth is, we don't remember it. Mikako-chan. Also, I knew you would react when we talked about this, Mikako Kurokawa. What's this all of a sudden? I'm obviously deeply grateful to Sasuke, and thanks to her, I was told to cooperate in order to punish the mastermind, but before that, there's a traitor we must catch. Mikako Kurokawa, you know something. Honestly, I'm dubious about your true nature. Tell me everything you know. If you can't, then I'll consider you in the mastermind side. No, wait, is this true? This is nonsense, right? No. Trust me, If you're innocent, tell me the facts that you know. You do know there's not only one or two suspicious actions you've done so far, right? Why did you shut your mouth? Are there any circumstances that you can't tell us? Mikaru, don't be too much. Kurokawa has to calm down before... Hello everyone, 7 a.m. Let's have a lively one today too. Morning announcement. Sorry to 7 a.m. That's not the problem right now. Alright, almost forgot. I don't know if everyone had a good night, but I want everyone to please go to the gym. I have some great news to inform you. See you soon. What? I'll leave the story for later. But just so you know, I won't move on this time. Mikako Kurokawa. What's the great news? It's only been a day since the trial was over and suddenly... We'll just have to go. We have no choice. Mikaro and Kurokawa. The air seemed to flow smoothly, got tense in an instant. In this tense mood, Monokuma shows up to add even more anxiety. We all go to the gym as Monokuma said, without concealing up unpleasantness. I still can't save? God damn. There was a reality waiting for us that we could not imagine. The first thing we knew as soon as we entered the gym was that Kinja didn't come. If Monokuma didn't say anything, it only means he still fainted. But the fact is so casually forgotten because a more shocking scene unfolded in the gym. Huh? Who? A guy? Everyone is here. The class trial ended yesterday, but I'm sorry for calling again so suddenly. But no matter what, there were things I had to tell you. It's a bit early, but I'll announce the motive. A surprise motive event introducing the transfer student. This time I transferred to Hostpeak Academy, the ultimate inventor, Yamato Kisaragi-kun. Please greet him with an applause. Kisaragi? Nonsense. Yamato ni? Wait, so... brother? Something? A suspicious figure who suddenly appeared as a transfer student. With his appearance, the situation began to unfold like a roller coaster. Chapter 4, End of a New Generation of Despair Revolution. Right. Danganronpa. Where's the guy that said that? Wait, where's the transfer student though? Where are you gonna add him? Oh, there you go. Haha. Sneaky. Any key. I pressed the N key. Yes, please. Thank you so much. So this was Chapter 4, Trial 4. God damn it. I stopped myself from crying out loud during Satsuki's case. That was fucking awesome. Why did you just say that in the beginning though? But whatever. I mean, Mikaro, I think Mikaro already explained that, but you know, just saying. The trial could have been way over if Sasuke just admitted everything and what they did in the arsenal. So this is Danganronpa Another. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. Translation made by Zephram. Follow them more for more Danganronpa related stuff. Also in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.